Best silly I ever had was named Billy, aka Hillbilly. When he had first gotten into the jail, his fingers were frostbitten and he was tweaking out and coming off drugs. So what had happened with him was he committed a burglary in the middle of the winter out in the country, and he was tweaking so hard that the cops chased him miles and miles through the winter forests. And it was all land that he knew because his family all owns all the land out there. And he almost got away, but by the end, the cops eventually came up to him and his fingers were almost frostbitten. They were super red, and he was super tweaked out on drugs, right? So this guy gets to the unit, and I don't remember what happened to my cellie that I had at the time, but I had a single cell. I didn't have a cellie, and they put this old man in my room who was tweaking out, and his name was Billy. And at first, I really didn't like him because he would pace around the room at night talking to himself when I was trying to sleep or trying to read, and he just barely ever slept. And anytime I rolled to the other side of my body to get comfortable when I was sleeping, he would wake up and he would get angry about it. And I didn't like him, but we were only cellies for a couple weeks before he went to go be an inmate worker. So flash forward to the second time I got sent to maximum security in the summer, first summer that I was in there, right? So this had to be probably 8 or 9 months into my bid, and I get sent to max for a stupid reason. I had dice made out of toilet paper in my room, and the reason that I had that was because they don't give you dice for your board games, and we were on lockdown for a while, and when you're on lockdown, you can't go out and talk to your people, you can't play any of the board games, you can't play cards unless you have a deck of cards and you want to play cribbage without a cribbage board in your room, or you want to play casino, or you want to play rummy. But me and my cellie at the time we wanted to play craps and just bet ramen noodles for the pot, right? So you can wet down toilet paper and you can mold it into a square, and then once it dries out, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side. So I had that, and this new soft, lame, goofy cop who looked like a tomato. He had just one tiny streak of orange hair on his head. Writes me a major violation for contraband, right? So I get sent to maximum security again, back into this lame metal dorm where you can't shut your doors, and it's super whack. You have to get up at a certain time, blah blah blah. It's super loud in there because everything is loud and everything is metallic, and if someone even taps their finger on the table, everybody can hear it. Anyways, that's besides the point. So I get back there, and guess who my cellie is? It's Billy, right? We lived on the top tier. I remember it was C6 or something, and he wasn't tweaking out anymore, so he was really cool. And we would stay up after lockdown, and this man had done probably close to 20 years in prison at the time, and he was 41 or 42, and he was such a good storyteller, man. If I could tell my stories how he could tell his stories, I would have a lot more followers right now, I think. But I'm gonna try and get him on the show. I need to contact him. He got out a year after me, and I haven't been able to find a way to get a hold of him because he's an old man. He doesn't have Instagram and stuff. But I've talked to people that know him, and they say that he's out and that he's doing good. And he's working on cars, whatever. But I'll have him on the show someday. But the biggest impact that he made on me was he was the best spades player that I ever met, and I played cards with hundreds of people throughout jail and prison. Hundreds. There was lots of good people. The people who are really good are the dudes down from Chicago who grew up playing spades on the streets with their families. But anyways, there's these two GDs in our block that were looking for people to gamble and play spades with. And I had played a lot of spades, but trust me when I say that there's levels to that game. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time, but there's certain techniques and strategies in counting certain suits and getting rid of spades and getting rundowns and stuff. There's levels to being good. You can think you're good, but you're not actually that good. So me and Billy start playing them, and he knew that I was bad, and he knew that we were going to lose, but this is what he told me. He said, Lucian, we're going to gamble these guys every day, and we're going to lose a lot of money, but every single time when we lock down, I'm going to tell you what you were doing wrong for the day and what you need to do better tomorrow. And we grinded, and guess what? Eventually we stopped losing, and we started winning all of our money back. And I got to be like 80% as good as him. And we would go on. Nobody wanted to gamble with us anymore because we would just win. And this would go on to be like my number one hustle throughout the rest of my bid was cards. I played a lot of poker too, but I wasn't nearly as good at poker as I am at spades. And if someone asked me if there was I don't miss being in jail. I don't miss anything about being in jail. But if I had to pick one thing that I kind of do miss, it would be playing spades. I love spades. If I wasn't working out, or I wasn't reading, or I wasn't on the phone, or on a visit talking to my people, I was playing spades. But we eventually both ended up going back to direct, the main line, the main block, and around the same time. And we ran up everybody in there. And then that became one of my biggest pastimes, was just playing cards. And I would go into prison, and as soon as I finally got into a game with somebody and found a partner, like I could tell just by watching people play that me and them would be good because we play the exact same ways. And I would go on to just run people up. Obviously, of course, I lost sometimes. I'm not saying I'm the best player in the world, but it was a fun pastime. And that's one of the better, things to talk about from when I was in there, because you got to make the best out of what you got. And I think that's where I'm going to end the video today. We are getting pretty close to me being sentenced and getting sent to prison in this story. So if you guys want to stick around for the real good stuff, please bless me with a subscribe or a like, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good day.